Hungry for spicy food and even hotter conversations? Craving community and authentic storytelling? Then join the table. This is Minor Legends, a new comedy fiction podcast supported by Potluck. Pull up every week with me, Angela Wong Carbone, and follow the stories of me and my friends as we serve up tasty tales of what it means to be Asian American at our weekly dinner hang. If you enjoy deep dishing on absurd stereotypes like tiger moms who tutor your dating game rather than grades, the insanity of your parents' immigration story, to the legend of that one good Asian cousin you can never live up to, then pull up a seat and grab a plate. Featuring dinner guests like Ronnie Chang, Brian Park, Usama Siddiqui, Celia Au, Perry Young, Supriya Ganesh, and more. It's a tasty rotation that'll leave you belly laughing and steeped in relatable and spicy conversations. Can you take the heat? Listen now for free wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to Whoa! Potluck.
And hey, welcome to Books and Boba, a book club and podcast featuring books by Asian and Asian American authors. My name is Marvin Yue.
And I'm Rira Yu.
And we are here for our November 2025 mid-month book news check-in, where we go over the latest Asian American related book and publishing news. As always, Books and Boba is supported in part by our listeners. So if you've been enjoying our podcast and want to become a bigger part of our book club, you can do so by heading over to patreon.com/booksandboba, where as an official Patreon supporter, you gain access to our members-only Discord server, where you can talk to us and fellow book club members in real time, discussing all sorts of topics, including our monthly book club picks. And if you join us at the Honey Boba level, you also gain access to our monthly bonus podcast, Boba Chats, as well as the opportunity to help us pick a Patron's Choice book club pick once per quarter. The next Patron's Choice coming up is our January pick. But yeah, with that said, Rira, it seems fall has fallen in Los Angeles. Are you enjoying the cooler weather?
I guess so. Yeah. Like, I haven't really left my house all that much, and that's great because everything is like climate controlled. So yeah, we're going to get a lot of rain this week. I am sad though that we didn't get to see the Northern Lights because everybody else did. And I was like, great. The only people who can't see it is LA. Everyone in the world can see the Northern Lights except us, because we have quote unquote perfect weather all year. So we don't deserve it.
That's fine. I enjoyed watching everyone else's pictures of the Northern Lights. I'm sure it was nice for everyone else who were able to see it.
Well, I'm glad that you guys were able to see it, but I'm just saying that it should have been me. I wanted to be a part of the experience. I'm so sad.
As always, we start off our mid-month check-ins by highlighting some of the latest Asian American publishing announcements. But yeah, let's get started for the second to last time in 2025. Rira.
That's crazy. I cannot believe that. Yeah, so as always, I've collected the book deals from Publishers Weekly, and our first book deal is in a 3-book deal. 23rd Street acquired world rights to Overrated by Jean Luen Yang, with art by Jacob Perez. The graphic novel kicks off a new series set in mid-aughts Los Angeles and centered on P. Flo, the city's most popular hip-hop dancer, who finds himself in the crosshairs of a group of assassins that hunt celebrities they judge as undeserving of fame. The first book is slated to be published in 2027.
That sounds harrowing. This is like the extreme version of, mid-aughts is like a very specific time period, right? It's before really the proliferation of social media, but it's also like that was the era of like America's Best Dance Crew, remember? Like some might say the early signs of like an Asian American cultural renaissance that came in like late aughts and 2010s.
Yeah, I am trying to remember the early aughts. I mean, I'm not that young, but I was in middle school around that time. So I think it is around the time when Asian Americans particularly became more mainstream. Like obviously like J-pop and K-pop were a thing in the early aughts, but I feel like it really took off and it was kind of like, oh, Asians got game too. they got Riz too. That was like when it started, in my opinion.
I think that really came with the growth of like social media and especially like online communities, right? I think I seem to remember like late aughts was when a lot of like I became aware of the existence of like really scary Netizen fans.
I mean, they've always been there though. Like they've been around since like the 90s. 2000, like I would say I joined Facebook around like 2008. So it really was like the perfect storm of like social media and like America's Best Dance Crew. And of course, like Zanga was a thing for a while. So like the swirl of like Asian American influence happening all at once. But I think this is a really funny story. I did not expect the group of assassins who are just like, hey, you don't deserve to be famous. And I'm like, ooh, okay. Netizens who have gone a little overboard.
I mean, netizens giving death threats, not necessarily a new thing, even in the mid-aughts, but like netizens that follow through on those death threats. Yeah, that can be pretty scary.
But Jin Luen Yang, he is the author of American Born Chinese. And also he wrote the Boxers and Saints comics. So he's very well known.
And prolific even. He's definitely one of like the, when you think of Asian American graphic novelists, he's usually one of the first. Yeah.
And he's also written Dragon Hoops, which was like about his experience with basketball. So yeah, like he's booked and busy. And, it's really nice to know that, he's continuing to broaden the landscape of Asian American literature.
Yeah, so looking forward to Jean's next project. All right, next up, 23rd Street landed world rights to Ink and Blood, Poetry and Power in the Lives of Emperor Liu and Chairman Mao, written by Chung Yu and illustrated by Sungyoon Choi. The graphic novel tells the tale of the 10th century Chinese emperor whose dynasty collapsed due to his love of poetry, and the 20th century communist leader who also wrote poetry. Publication is set for 2027. Yeah, so I'm not super familiar with Emperor Li. Let me just double check. Let me see what dynasty he's even from.
Again, we are Asian American. We did not grow up in Asia, the motherland. So obviously our history knowledge of the motherland it's not as sharp as it should be.
I guess he was part of the Southern Tang dynasty, and his reign started in 961 AD. So not ancient China, but also not like one of the more recent dynasties, kind of in the middle there.
How does a dynasty fall due to poetry? I'm very curious on that.
I mean, when your emperor is too busy writing, poems instead of making executive decisions, usually that's when the ministers take over and corruption rings, right? I'm just like spitballing here, but I feel like that's how most dynasties fall, is when the emperor loses control of the court and basically someone else decides, I want to be emperor now.
Yeah, this is a really interesting title, though. Ink and Blood, Poetry and Power in the Lives of Emperor Liu and Chairman Mao, two figures that I would just be like, what do they have to do with each other other they were like leaders in China? So it's interesting that poetry is what ties them together. I think this is a really cool topic. All right, next up, Delacorte Press acquired the Peacock Throne by Zeba Shahnaz, the author of Midnight Strikes. The YA fantasy duology was pitched as Anastasia meets This Woven Kingdom. Set in a world inspired by 19th century India, the story follows a young woman who believes she's a descendant of a long overthrown imperial dynasty and gets entangled in a dangerous conspiracy that could spell her country's doom if her false marriage to the chief conspirator's son doesn't kill her first. Publication is planned for fall 2026. This sounds amazing. I love stories of lost royalty.
Yeah.
Yeah, coming back into power. Well, not power, but you know what I mean, like lost royalty, and there's like a new empire or new regime, and it's like, okay, how do you fit into this new world?
Yeah, like fallen princess, fallen royalty. There's a reason why the Anastasia story is so popular, right? Because everyone likes the idea of like finding the lost like heir, right?
Well, like the whole point of like the whole Anastasia myth is like the death of the Romanovs were so brutal, right? Like, so it was a rumor to make people hope that, oh, at least like one child made it out of that like horrific execution. And I think it's kind of birthed a lot of stories where it's like, oh, like maybe you can be a missing princess or prince too.
Yeah, and hidden identity always makes for like some thrilling drama, especially in fantasies, especially in Asian-inspired fantasies, which is also, we love to see here at Books and Boba. So congrats to Zeba on the book deal. All right, next up, Abrams Fanfare has bought Nat Iwata's graphic novel Forest Freaks. Blending American mythology with Japanese folklore, the book follows identical twins Ben and Yoshi, who move to a new town and discover something supernatural in the woods behind their school. Publication is scheduled for fall 2028. I don't know what it is, but something really speaks to me about twins having adventures.
That's because you have twins.
Maybe. Yeah, this sounds like a lot of fun. My twins aren't identical, but I'm sure they'll get a kick of like other twins having adventures.
Yeah, and I don't know like what supernatural creatures live in the woods in this new town, but I'm guessing that since this book is infused with Japanese folklore, we'll be seeing some yokai, some familiar anime demons that we have seen in our history.
Hopefully they're the cuter ones and not like the effed up ones, because some Japanese demons are pretty scary.
Yeah, it's like how scary are we going in the scale of like Japanese folklore? Like, are we going like Japanese horror movie or like...
Just give me a cute fox. Give me a little cute nine-tailed fox,
Okay, next up, Penguin Workshop acquired world rights to Grammy Award-winning musician Laufey's debut picture book, Maymay the Bunny. Illustrated by Lauren O'Hara, the picture book is about a little bunny with big dreams of making the world a happier place through her music. Publication is slated for April 2026.
This sounds real cute.
Laufey, I love her music. Very calming.
Don't know. I'm sure I've heard her music before. I just don't know if I can place. I don't really listen to popular music these days. It's all kids' music in the car now.
I wouldn't really say like her music is popular. I mean, she's well known, but like I don't think she's like a pop star, because a lot of the music that she comes out with is like very like jazzy and like slow and like old timey. Get in touch with the culture, Mark.
I think
she's been around for a while.
I think since turning 40, I'm legally allowed to disconnect with popular culture.
Not when we are podcasters involved in pop culture, especially you, since you run Good Pop.
Yeah, I guess this is my sign to listen to some Laufey music because Riris told me to.
Yeah, it's very peaceful, very calming.
All right. Our next book deal, Roaring Brook has acquired world rights to Aunties, a picture book written by Pooja Makhijani and illustrated by Ruchi Mhasane. The book is a celebration of all of the aunties in our lives. Publication is set for spring 2027.
I don't know if we need to celebrate all the aunties. Some of them are a little too much.
Some aunties may be a little
celebrate themselves too much.
Yeah, some might. We can acknowledge that they are an auntie and, choose how much of that auntiness we want in our lives. But, because this is a picture book, I'm sure all the aunties in this book will be quite delightful. One would think.
As an auntie myself, I'm trying to be like the cool aunt, like the childless cool aunt who will like allow you to stay past bedtime and like get you ice cream, and when you're older, like see movies that are past the age rating. I hope that I can be a cool aunt. I don't want to be uncool amongst, there's nothing more embarrassing than like a young person telling you how uncool you are through their gaze, just silently checking you out and be like, you're so uncool. And it's like,
I think the more you try to be the cool aunt, the less cool you seem. So you just gotta just be cool.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like visually like never show your weakness to the young people. So I just have to be very sneaky about it.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Henry Holt bought at auction The Girl, the Village, and the Terrible Thunder, written by debut author Aimee Yealim Lee and illustrated by Hyewon Yum. This humorous story, inspired by a Korean folktale, is about a girl with a powerful, very smelly secret and how she learns to use it to help her community. Publication is planned for spring 2027. Trying to think if there are any folktales that I know where there is a very pungent smell involved.
Yeah. I mean, is the Terrible Thunder, is it a fart? Or is it like kimchi? Is it some sort of pickle? Or like, is it like BO? Because Koreans, like Asian people, typically don't have like
BO.
BO, right?
We don't have the gene, which, thank God, because that's something that I would hate to worry about. My husband, like he has like a very bad sense of smell, so he can't smell anything. Like to a point where we spilled vinegar during our move, like balsamic vinegar onto like our garage concrete. And I was like, oh, it smells so strong. It's so vinegary here. And he's like, what does vinegar smell like? Because I honestly can't smell anything. And I'm like, it's a superpower.
A blessing and a curse, really. Yeah.
It's a superpower because I feel like there are way more terrible smells than good smells in the world.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad that I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, that's not to say Asian people don't sweat. Our sweat just doesn't smell as bad.
I think sweat smell and body odor are two different things, though. Because like when you get sweaty and you have like a sweat drenched shirt, obviously it's gonna smell like something, but body odor is like more violent in my opinion. Considering that like I've gone to a lot of like conventions in my life, and I'm like, oh yeah. God, deodorant is
necessary.
Like I've been to many Asian-led events too, and I'm like, I never struggle with holding my breath because of bad body odor. So it's a genetics thing. We've been blessed in that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know any folktales where there's like a smell involved. So interesting.
Well, I'll be very curious to learn about what the smell is when this book comes out in 2027. Just in time for my kids to start requesting bedtime stories. I'm sure they would love a story about something smelly. All right. Next up, Bloomsbury has bought world rights to Jade versus the Claw Machine, a picture book written by Margaret Chiu Greanias and illustrated by Heather Brockman Lee. When Jade's Baba's Boba shop gets a new claw machine with adorable prizes inside, Jade is determined to beat the odds, win a toy, and change her luck forever. Publication is set for spring 2028.
Jade, those claw machines are rigged.
Now here's where I call foul, because if it's your dad's claw machine, that means you get unlimited plays, right?
Yeah. Like, people don't realize that the claw machines, there's like a certain number of
It's like
quarters.
A gotcha, right? It's like
a gotcha, because like the claw's purposely weak for most of the catches, so you have to catch it at you have to be like the lucky person with the strong claw.
Yeah, you have to be the lucky person to get the strong claw pressure, and also be good enough to take advantage of that and aim well.
Yeah, like I've seen a lot of tutorial videos on getting like prizes at claw machines because I'm just amazed by people's skills. Some people like swing the claw around so that it like scoops up one of the prizes that's on like the shelf. That's like not in like the floor, but like on the shelf as like display. And I'm like, wow. Amazing.
Yeah.
I have one friend who is really good at claw machines, and it truly is a talent.
I'm dreading the day that my kids would want me to win something from a claw machine, because I'll be like, no, Dad's not good enough at these.
No, they'll have to win it themselves.
I'll just buy you the doll. That's probably cheaper.
It is cheaper, but where's the fun in that? All right, next up, Versify bought Sun's Eid, written and illustrated by Natasha Khan Kazi, author of Moon's Ramadan. The picture book is about the sun's journey through the celebration of Eid al-Adha, following a family as they pray, share meals, and give to those in need, making a day of joy, family, and tradition. Publication is scheduled for winter 2028.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've had like holiday book in our book deals, but I do like the framing of this being through a sun's journey through the celebration. So maybe the sun is like observing everyone celebrating Eid.
I wonder if it's a companion book to Natasha's previous book, Moon's Ramadan.
Oh, that's true.
Sun's Eid and Moon's Ramadan. So it sounds like a pairing.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
But congratulations to Natasha, Khan, Kazi on their new picture book.
Yeah. All right, our next book deal, McElderry Books acquired Shamim Abubakar's debut novel, The Echo of Empires, pitched for fans of Leigh Bardugo, Saba Tahir, and S.A. Chakraborty. This crossover fantasy is about 3 former street rats who become magically bound to mythical beasts, plan an epic heist, crash a royal wedding, and accidentally unravel an empire while they're at it. Publication is set for spring 2027.
Riff raff, street rat, scoundrel.
You need to stop. We can't be sued
Aladdin.
by Disney.
That's what I think every single time the word street rats pop up. It's like
I mean, I'm pretty sure Aladdin is what brought the term street rat into popular lexicon. But yeah, this sounds like a I guess Aladdin meets not Power Rangers, but
because it's a heist, so it is like Six of Crows. That's why Leigh Bardugo is included in the pitch.
That's true, but also kind of Digimon.
I mean, Digimon in a sense, but not really, because they like evolve. It's not like one beast. So
I mean, mythical beasts can also evolve. I wouldn't be surprised if like these mythical beasts turn into even stronger versions of mythical beasts as the story seemingly escalates from heisting to taking on an empire, right?
Yeah, I'm just thinking like, oh yeah, there's like a big royal wedding. Like we're going to steal, I don't know, some kind of jewel. Like I'm just thinking about like the Louvre heist, you know? It's like we're going to get in and get out. And then it's like, oh no, repercussions. The empire is kind of in a crisis now because of what we stole. It sounds like a lot of like high stakes, and it sounds really fun.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Lee and Low Books acquired world rights to Cheryl Kim's untitled picture book biography of Katherine Sui-Fun Cheung, the first female Chinese pilot to hold a commercial flying license, who joined the 99s Club alongside Amelia Earhart and performed daredevil aerobatics at air shows across the U.S. in the 1930s. The book will be illustrated by Nicole Wong. Publication is set for fall 2027. I have never heard of Katherine Sui-Fun Cheung, so it sounds interesting.
Yeah, I haven't heard of her neither, and I think it's really cool that books like these unearth these like hidden histories, right? Because the history that we learn is like stories that someone has decided that we need to learn to understand our context. But you know, especially as like Asian Americans, as minorities, as like people of color in this country, a lot of our stories live in like the silences, right? Live in like the stories that aren't being told in our history books or in movies or media. So it's really cool that I'm sure Cheryl did a lot of like auxiliary research to like find and document Catherine's story, because like, you know, working in, I've done a couple like history related podcasts, and like the amount of work to just like piece together these stories from like secondary accounts is like, it takes a lot, because a lot of times like the primary sources from these subjects, you know, letters, notebooks, documents, they're not kept because people didn't think they were important to keep back then. It was just, you know, the writings of like a Chinese lady, right? So yeah, it's really cool that these stories are.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to add, like, how many of us have heard the name Amelia Earhart? Like, it is a very recognizable historical figure, especially in aviation history. And, you know, when we think about the 1930s, a lot of the times we don't think about the people of color who were probably, you know, doing cool things too. And it's like, great. Like, yeah. I love how there is proof now that we were pioneers and we were doing daredevil stunts in the air as well. So this sounds like a pretty cool picture book.
Yeah, so looking forward to checking out Cheryl's book when it comes out. Also in 2027. All these books coming out just in time for me to populate our bedtime story queue. I love it. All right. Next up, Mimi Books has acquired world rights to Mongoose's Holy Party, a picture book by Darshana Kiani and illustrated by Abhilasha Khatri. In this Indian twist on the tale of the Little Red Hen, Mongoose is getting ready for a holy party bash. Her friends can't wait, but when Mongoose asks for their help, they are full of colorful and exasperating excuses. Publication is slated for February 2027. I think Mongoose needs better friends.
I'm just looking up what holy is. Or
that's the festival
holly.
of color, right? That's the...
Oh, it's like with the powdered colors that people put on each other.
Yeah.
So it is a festival that most prominently celebrates the beginning of spring. So it makes sense that it is a holiday that's filled with colors and filled with laughter.
Yeah. I hope this is, and it's been a while since I've read The Little Red Hen, so I don't really remember the story. But I do hope that they're all just pulling the Mongoose's leg and they're actually planning a surprise holy party for them at the end. That's how I would write the children's book anyways.
All right, next up, Delacorte Press acquired at auction The Gods Will Sing Our Song by Autumn Krause, the author of Before the Devil Knows You're Here. The YA historical fantasy was pitched as Divine Rivals meets Lovely War. Set in a World War II incarceration camp and inspired by the author's grandparents, this romantic novel follows two first-generation Japanese-American teenagers drawn together by fate who collide with ancient magic and confront heart-wrenching injustices as their world crumbles around them. Publication is set for fall 2026. It's nice whenever I see authors writing stories based on their grandparents' journey. We've been seeing a lot of those, and that's really great.
Yeah, I'm interested in the historical fantasy aspect too, right? Because it's explicitly set in a World War II incarceration camp, and I wonder what kind of magical, shenanigans. It doesn't seem like magical realism. It's more overt magical fantasy, right?
I mean, who knows? Ancient magic makes me think it's more overt fantasy than realistic magic magical realism.
Yeah. All right, next up, Nancy Paulson Books, a Penguin imprint, has acquired Olivia Blackburn's middle-grade fiction debut, Echoes Across the Water. Set in the aftermath of the Chinese Civil War, the book follows two girls, one in Mao's China and one in KMT-ruled Taiwan, who find their lives intertwined through dreams as they navigate a secret that may heal their families or tear them apart. Publication is set for spring 2027.
Oh, I was surprised that this was a middle grade novel.
Yeah.
It's a very serious topic.
I mean, middle grade books can have serious topics as well.
Of course. But
I think because the main characters are two girls, I think that's where the middle grade, themes come in. It's interesting. We were just talking about Japanese American incarceration, a major canon event in American history. The Chinese Civil War is something that is more of a canon event for my family, right? Because we are here. I'm here because of that Civil War. And with civil wars, it comes with, families being ripped apart. Some people left, some people stay. Even now, I don't know my entire family. I only know my immediate family. A lot of family that stayed in China, we've kind of lost contact with. I think my dad's tracked down some of my grandmother's relatives, but in terms of the history of my family, it really starts with my grandfather, as far as I know. So, it is interesting to have a middle grade book exploring the themes of what happens to real people, what happens to people on the ground when a country splits apart.
Yeah, civil wars are, there's something very specifically heartbreaking about it because the enemy is literally your own people. So, I am surprised that this is a middle grade novel, but considering that kids have gone through so much in the past and even today, it sounds like a very important book.
Yeah.
All right. So our last book deal is Barefoot Books acquired world rights to What's for Iftar, written by Razina Omar Gutta and illustrated by Ezra Hidari. On the day of his first full Ramadan fast, Hamza wants to make a dish for iftar that everyone will love. But what should he make? Publication is planned for autumn 2026. So iftar is the meal that you eat after fasting.
After you break your fast, yeah.
Yeah. What do people usually eat for iftar?
I don't know. Like, I don't have like fasting is not part of any of my cultural traditions, and I'm kind of like I can't imagine like what would you want to eat after not eating for like what was like 12 plus hours?
I've had to fast before, surprisingly, even though like I grew up Presbyterian, because I'm like, what the like we're not Catholic. Like, what the hell are we doing fasting? But I've had to fast for like charity events. And it was for like 30 hours. And I'm trying to remember like what I ate after that. I think quite literally, like I ate a full meal, and you're not supposed to do that because it shocks your system. Like you're supposed to slowly eat things so that your stomach doesn't like get upset. But I think I literally ate like tonkatsu one time, like just like a giant bowl of rice and a bunch of fried pork. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure we'll learn all about the different things you can eat for iftar from this book.
There's so many things, so many choices, you know? How do you break your fast?
Yeah. All right,
so,
I wonder if anyone just gets like a ton of pizza.
I don't know. Maybe. I think it really depends on your age. Because I think about like, I think about now in like my mid 30s, I'm like, I definitely cannot eat a full plate of tonkatsu after fasting for like 30 hours. Maybe like a 12-hour fast, but like it depends.
But yeah, congrats to Rosina and Esra on the book deal. And I guess those are our book deals for November 2025. Let's move on to some news. Riro, what's been going on? Tell me about the Goodreads Choice Awards.
Okay, so that is our only piece of news for this episode because I mean, a lot of things have happened on book threads, but they're all like very stupid things that I don't really want to talk about. Like, there's a lot of conversations about like, is AI writing real writing? Are trigger warning spoilers and illegal audio book clubs where you pay like $20 to like some secret force and you just listen to pirated audiobooks? And I'm like, that's illegal for sure. And you shouldn't be proud to say, I'm part of an illegal book club. Yay. And also like George R. Martin winning a case, a case against OpenAI, but his anniversary edition of Feast for Crows having AI art, allegedly. So it's been very fun in the book sphere. However, none of it is Asian related.
Yeah, these sound like good Boba Chat topics. So I'll definitely bring these up maybe next week when we record our bonus podcast that you can also listen to if you join us. If you join our Patreon at the Hilny Boba level.
I should prepare a PowerPoint on the alleged AI art in Feast of Crows because it like the team said that they had no involvement with AI. But it is just like atrociously bad. Like you can see the AI from space. It is like so blatant that I just have to like share it with you. So I'll have like some visual guide for our Boba Chat.
I'll take a look. Yeah, I feel like AI art has gotten like some of it has gotten pretty like there are less detectable AI art, but sometimes it's just there. You just see like this just looks bad. Right. It just looks
think
like
it's harder with videos because there's like it can move quick. So you don't like you don't see a still image and you can like look at all the details. So I've been seeing a lot of like AI generated animal videos and I'm like, how dare they take this away from me? I look at cute animal videos to unwind stress and they've taken that from me because now the first thing I think of when I see an animal video is this AI. It's terrible.
How dare they? Yeah.
How dare they? So the 2025 Goodreads Choice Awards has begun. The opening round for it is open for votes until November 23rd. So that's next week. And most popular picks from the opening round will move forward to the final round, which opens from November 25th and will run until November 30th. Now, I have issues with the Goodreads Choice Awards, like every bookfluencer out there, simply because it's like a Reader's Choice Award, right? But ironically, you don't have to read any of the books to vote. And a lot of the books that got voted are by straight white people. And there is definitely some disconnect with some of the genres, because I'm just like, I could have sworn there were some really good books by BIPOC authors in this category, but their book is not listed here. So obviously there's a lot of in the Goodreads Choice Awards, but it is an award that publishers, pay attention to. If your book is nominated, if your book wins a Goodreads Choice Award, that is marketed very heavily. And that affects reprints, because most of these books are, hardcover when they come out because they're new books. So it directly affects the book's success and the author's success. So we are going to go through the categories and list the books that are by authors of Asian descent. And some of them are books that we have read for this podcast. Some of them we've had the authors show up for author interviews. So you can listen to those episodes and trust our judgment and vote for them.
Yeah,
on the Goodreads
definitely.
Choice
I feel like the books in MOBA, like these are, I guess we're not.
These are our champions.
Yeah,
yeah. It's like a horse race, and you're just like, I'm just gonna pick a random one.
We just want our team to win. That's all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Marvin and I will take turns going through the categories. We're not going to summarize them because obviously there's a lot of them. But if you would like to have more information about the books, you can go on the Goodreads website. They have the categories all listed, and you can go through and read their summaries, check out their ratings, and all that jazz. So our first category is Reader's Favorite Fiction. We have The Emperor of Gladness by Ocean Vuong, A Guardian and Thief by Megha Majumdar, and The Loneliness of Sonia and Sunny by Kiran Desai. And we've read Megha's book, The Burning.
The very depressing A Burning. Yeah. Yeah, I remember being very bummed out by that book. So I don't know how Guardian Thief is, but congrats to Megha for making it on this list again. And we've read Ocean's first book, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, familiar names, I'm telling you. Like some of these are friends of the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. For favorite historical fiction, we have Homeseeking by Carissa Chan. For favorite mystery and thriller, we have Vera Wong's Guide to Snooping on a Dead Man by Jessie Q Sutanto, who we've had on the show to talk about her debut novel, Dial A for Auntie. But we also read the first Vera Wong book for book club as well. So definitely Jessie Q Sutanto, a favorite of our book club, and very excited to see her on this list. And for favorite romance, we have King of Envy by Anna Huang.
Okay, so for favorite romantasy, we have A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Songgu Mandana, which we read like 2 months ago. We also have Alchemized by Senlin Yu and Immortal by Su Lin Tan.
Okay, so I know.
So we have to vote for Sanggu's book. Like, it is mandatory.
Yeah, but also, is this categorized correctly? I mean, I guess there's no cozy category. Okay, so the closest thing is romantasy, right?
This is a whole thing, Marvin. We covered this last year when Goodreads changed their categories and they made a romantasy category. And we're like, what the fuck? Like, I know that there are more books that are technically marketed as romantasy, but I feel like you guys are just throwing in random books in there and not understanding the actual...
Right.
Yeah.
There should be like a favorite cozy witch fantasy. I think that would be like a good category.
Because, okay, you have A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, which is like cozy, feel good, found family. And then you have Alchemized, which is dark romance, like sexual abuse and just like PTSD. And I don't know what Immortal is about. Sorry, Sulin, but I'm just saying vastly different vibes. It's like, what? Like, how are they under one category, the same category?
Yeah, it does seem a little mismatched. And definitely, I think it's because like the alchemized flavor of romantasy is just so popular that if they had stick that in fantasy, it would like probably win, right?
They're just like, well, it doesn't fit into contemporary romance, and it doesn't fit into. I mean, it does fit into fantasy, but it is more romance heavy, and I get it. But I am really tired of this genre. I am like really tired of the marketing.
I feel like there needs to be two, like it needs to branch further into two separate, like romantasy and like effed up romantasy, right?
Like dark romance, contemporary romance, historical romance. I feel like the romance genre is so big that you can't just put it all under one category.
I mean, it's the Golden Globes problem, right? It's like when The Martian was nominated for Best Comedy that one year.
Yeah. I do wonder how they categorize these books for the awards, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Next up, we have readers' favorite fantasy. We have Red City by Marie Lu, Catabasis by R.F. Kwang, and Watermoon by Samantha Soto Yambao.
Yeah, all books that I'm really interested in, especially. So I have I did purchase the hardcover of Catabasis with like the illustrated side of the book, just to have, but I have not cracked open that tome because there's really no, like, the moment I hold anything in my hands, it will get destroyed by my son within a minute. So
that's why you have to night read. I really want the special edition of Catabasis because the illustrated pages look really, really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are really strong books for this category.
Yeah,
I've heard great things about Red City as well.
Yeah, that is Marie Lu's adult fantasy debut, I think. So I'm really interested to see what she brings to, because she's done mostly YA fantasy, right?
Yeah. And Watermoon, it's a book that I've heard pretty good reviews from a lot of bookfluencers on YouTube and also like Book Talk. So this category like is pretty strong for Asian American writers.
All right. Next category, favorite science fiction. We have Hamajang Luck by Makana Yamamoto. Salt Crop by Yumi Kitase, who we just had on our podcast for an author chat. These Memories Don't Belong to Us by Yiming Ma. Luminous by Sylvia Park. And Local Heavens by K.M. Farhado.
Again, we are obligated to vote for Salt Crop because we've had Yume on the podcast.
Yeah. In lieu of not reading
this is how it works.
These books, this is the only book we read, so and we liked it. We did really enjoy it. I enjoyed Salt Crop. I think you did too, right? You liked the
I did.
boat trip across a ruined United States.
Yeah. So for favorite horror, we have What Hunger by Catherine Dang, Bat Eater and Other Words for Cora Zhang by Kylie Lee Baker, which was last month's book club pick, and then Immaculate Conception by Ling Ling Huang, who was the author of Natural Beauty, which is a pick from last year. I think that was like last year's spooky read.
Yeah.
So who do we vote for? Do we vote for Kylie's book, which was an official book club pick, or do we vote for Ling Ling Huang's sophomore novel?
I mean, I think we're honor bound to support Bat Eater just because we actually read that book. We didn't read Immaculate Conception. So I'm sure it's also
I do love
good.
Ling Ling Huang's writing, though. I should definitely pick up Immaculate Conception.
Yeah. Her first book, Natural Beauty, was just it's very memorable, especially like the body horror parts at the end. So really interested to see what she came up with next. But yeah, congrats. This, again, a stat. I'm sure there are other books that are also really good, but we don't care about them because they weren't written by Asians.
I will say, please do go on the Goodreads website and look at all the books that got nominated. I only pulled out the books by authors of Asian descent because of, the point of this show is to spotlight authors of Asian descent. But there are some really good books on there, and some that are, I do question their eligibility, but that's neither here nor there. Right. So for the favorite debut category, we have Homeseeking by Carissa Chen, The Original Daughter by Jemima Wei, and Alchemized by Senlin Yu. So we have two familiar titles from previous categories.
Multiple nominations, always cool. All right, for favorite young adult fantasy and sci-fi, we have Hecate the Witch by Nikita Gill, Heavenly Tyrant by Shiran J. Zhao, Every Spiral of Fate by Tahari Mafi, Watch Me, also by Tahari Mafi, The Floating World by Axie O, Breath of the Dragon by Shannon Lee and Fonda Lee, Never Ever After by Sulin Tan, and A Forgery of Fate by Elizabeth Lim.
Yo, out of all the categories, we have the most number of Asian writers in this category. To be fair, they merged young adult fantasy and sci-fi together, when I think they should be separate categories. But
Yeah, how come the adult category has two separate ones, but the young adult does not? That seems
I don't know.
discriminatory. That does not make sense. Good reads. Let's have a word.
But yeah, lots of familiar names on this list. We've had Axie on our show recently to talk about The Floating World. I really liked it. I think the sequel is coming out like in February, like really, really quickly, I think. Wait, it already came out. It came out in October. How did I miss it? Oh my goodness. All right. So I do have to like go buy a copy of that because I really need to read the conclusion to it. Heavenly Tyrant, that is the
sequel of
sequel.
What was that?
Iron Widow.
Iron
right?
Widow, yeah. We've also had Shiran on our show as well. Fonda Lee's new book that she wrote with Shannon Lee, who is not her sister, but the daughter of Bruce Lee. It's like a fantasy based on the writings of Bruce Lee, which it's kind of cool that Shannon's been like producing all of these like TV shows, movies, and books based on like her father's philosophy. And it's really cool to have Fonda be a part of it because still one of my favorite like writer of action scenes.
Yeah, like I would say like Fonda is probably like the best choice when it comes to writing about like martial arts.
Yeah.
Mixed in with rich fantasy. So yeah.
Lots of great choices. I think, our pick will probably have to go to Axie because we did have her on the show to talk about The Floating World. But definitely a lot of great choices in this category. You can't go wrong with any of them. And definitely excited to, have all these books to add to our TBR list.
All right. So for favorite young adult fiction, we have You Found Oliver by Dustin Thau, When Devils Sing by Zan Kerr, and I Am Not Jessica Chen by Anne Liang. We've read You Found Oliver and had Dustin on our show this past year, so we are obligated to vote for Dustin's book. I have heard pretty good things about I Am Not Jessica Chan by Anne Liang, so that is on my TBR for sure.
All right, and so for our last category, favorite memoir, we have Finding My Way by Malala Yousafzai, 107 Days by Kamala Harris, Mother May Comes to Me by Arundhati Roy, and Things in Nature Merely Grow by Young Lee.
So memoirs is a category that we don't really go into all that much on Books and Boba, but we read a couple. So these might be contenders in the future. No promises, but
Yeah.
So
no official pick from our end, but definitely a couple very strong choices here from some, high profile people. So congrats to all of the nominees for the Goodreads Awards. Even though we have our quibbles with the awards as a whole, it's always still cool to win an award and always cool to see, our authors win those awards. So we're not gonna say don't vote for it. You should participate because someone's winning this award, and I'd rather be, one of our picks, right?
Yeah. Again, Goodreads Choice Awards. I mean, it does carry weight, even though you can vote for things that, you have not read. So really, like, the requirements for it is like, it's questionable, but publishers, they do take it seriously. They do pour money into books that have won the Goodreads Choice Awards or was nominated for it. And a lot of these BIPOC authors, I mean, we've only listed the authors of Asian descent in this episode, but a lot of the BIPOC authors who were nominated, they could use that recognition for more paperbacks, more marketing.
Yeah, I mean, for better or worse, a lot of people do use these awards to help them make their purchasing decisions. So yeah, congrats to all of these authors, and hopefully we see them all move on to the shortlist. But yeah, with that, that'll do it for our November 2025 edition of our mid-month book news check-in. Mira, as always, thank you for compiling all the publishing and book news for this episode. Before we go, though, just a quick reminder that our November 2025 book club pick is Taiwan Travelogue by Yang Shuangzi, translated by Ling King. It is a story of a Japanese novelist traveling through Japanese occupied Taiwan in 1938 along with her interpreter, and it follows their journey as they travel across the country. And it's hard to describe this book. I don't know if you started reading it yet. I know you usually don't start reading until later in the month, but the book is set up as like metafiction. It is like presented as a translation of a rediscovered text by a Japanese writer. And so there's like a lot of like meta layers in the book. It reads like a travelogue, but there's also footnotes from both the author and the translator, and forwards and afterwards by like other translators that have interacted with the book through its like fictional life. It's a very interesting setup.
Oh, metafiction, my nemesis on this podcast. I just have like a history with metafiction picks on Books and Boba. Like I tend to not like them, but hopefully this will change my mind.
Well, here's the thing, right? It's only metafiction if you have like the paperback version, if you have like the book version, because that's the one that comes with the forward and afterwards from fictional like scholars. The audiobook version actually doesn't have the forward or afterwards.
Oh, interesting.
And just go straight into the text. So you wouldn't even know it is metafiction.
But that sounds like I have to read the print edition though, because that's what the author intended, right? So to miss out on that, that doesn't sound right to me.
Well, so this is an interesting discussion that we're having in the Discord, which is like, is that forward even necessary? And I wonder what you'll say about it. I'm looking forward to our discussion at the end of the month, because it is like, I'm not gonna. You should read however you feel is the most complete way you want to read. But I have some thoughts on like whether or not we actually needed that forward or not.
Memories of interior Chinatown is flashing through my mind.
It's not as like overt as that. So the metafiction only occurs in the fact that the text is being framed from the forward. If you just read like the chapters in the book, there's no like metatextual like layer in it at all.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, we shall see.
Yeah. So as always, we are reading along on Discord. So if you're a Patreon supporter, please let us know your thoughts as we go along. And for those of you who aren't on our Discord, you can also let us know your thoughts on the book on our Goodreads forums. As always, we love to include your feedback on our discussion episodes whenever possible. But yeah, that'll do it for this episode of Books and Boba. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Books and Boba. This podcast was hosted by Marvin Yue and Mira Yu and edited and produced by Marvin Yue. Follow the book club on Twitter and Instagram by going to @BooksandBoba and engage with us on Goodreads on our Goodreads group. You can also check out past episodes of the podcast by going to booksandboba.com and by subscribing to us on your favorite podcast app. Don't forget, you can support Books and Boba and Asian American authors by purchasing books at our bookshop.org account. Check out the link in our show notes and also at booksandboba.com. Books and Boba is a proud member of the Potluck Podcast Collective, a collective of Asian American hosted podcasts featuring unique voices and stories from the Asian diaspora. Learn more about the collective and check out our fellow Potluck shows by visiting the website podcastpotluck.com. Thanks for listening.
Hungry for spicy food and even hotter conversations? Craving community and authentic storytelling? Then join the table. This is Minor Legends, a new comedy fiction podcast supported by Potluck. Pull up every week with me, Angela Wong Carbone, and follow the stories of me and my friends as we serve up tasty tales of what it means to be Asian American at our weekly dinner hang. If you enjoy deep dishing on absurd stereotypes like tiger moms who tutor your dating game rather than grades, the insanity of your parents' immigration story, to the legend of that one good Asian cousin you can never live up to, then pull up a seat and grab a plate. Featuring dinner guests like Ronnie Chang, Brian Park, Usama Siddiqui, Celia Au, Harry Young, Supriya Ganesh, and more. It's a tasty rotation that'll leave you belly laughing and steeped in relatable and spicy conversations. Can you take the heat? Listen now for free wherever you get your podcasts.